Good morning, lovely Monday morning class, and lovely to see you on your yoga mat this morning. So here we are, and we're carrying on with our springtime cleaning of mind and body. And today, our focus is, from last week, we built strength, as it were, and we built that concentration, in a way, determination to kind of keep going against the odds sometimes. Today, we're now softening that focus. So we're kind of now balancing that strength with the softness, the suppleness, as it were, through the body and mind. So then hopefully we come to this lovely place where the body is in flow. You've got strength from your roots to lift up into the body, to see you stepping forwards, as it were. That is tempered with the softness. So it's not a hard gaze, it's a soft gaze, but a gaze of clarity. There we go. So we're going to start, I reckon, today with one palm on the heart and the other covering that palm. And let your eyes shut here. And just feel the contact of your hands with the chest and your heart space. And just adjust the pressure and that contact. So, in the touch of hands to the body, there's a feeling of care, of self-care. There's a feeling of self-love in this dialogue of intention, self. Let your hands connect to your heart. Holding something incredibly precious and valuable. Let yourself feel wrapped in love, held in love. Energy field of love, the vibration of love, in all its manifestations. Touching our divine. And your hands in a little bowl now in front of the heart. And just breathing into that bowl, this quality of love. And then we lift that up into the sky above us. And there, that bowl overflowing, we bring the hands so they're showering down onto the crown of the head, and they come to rest on the crown of the hands. As if you're blessing yourself, showering yourself in blessings. Cover your ears now for a moment. Opening them again, so then you open up the dialogue. We'll do that one more time, so you just feel that sense of inner dialogue and then outer dialogue. Just cover the ears with the hands one more time. And then release that pressure. We'll take hands to the eyes and we'll do the same, covering the eyes. And you'll notice how the sense and the awareness, perception of space changes with the eyes covered. One hand very lightly over the mouth and the other on the throat. Both hands to throat. And from the throat, we'll take the hands down over the front of the body until they come to rest in the dantian, so your lower abdomen, just below the navel. Like a reservoir of our energy here. We'll just take 5 breaths, conscious breaths, filling up this reservoir. As thoughts arise, just note that function, your thinking, and then letting the content dissolve. Eyes opening again. And right hand will just come down to the side of the body. Just come up onto the fingertips of that right hand. Your left hand is going to float up here. And you'll draw up through the left side of the body and waist armpit. And then that left arm will just float over to the right hand side. Now, right shoulder will want to lift up there. So you're just going to work at just softening that right shoulder. Don't need to hold the right shoulder up. Left arm is going to float down. You'll come to the left side of the body. And your right hand will come up. We'll just take that breath there so you can just relax that space between left ear, left shoulder. So then when the right arm comes down, just conscious that you may want to draw up, you can just let it release downwards. Just enjoy that side body stretch. Right hand floating back down now. And both hands coming behind you. The fingers can point away from you or towards you, whatever you prefer. And we'll breathe in and we'll lift up into the chest. We'll let the head just drop back a little bit. That's comfortable on the neck. And then out breath, hands to the knees. And we're rounding the shoulders now, elbows to the side. And we're letting the chin come into the throat. As we draw inwards into the body. Now consciously pull your belly in here towards your spine. So you're supporting this arching over action. Hands on the knees, start to lift up and open up into the chest again. And then out breath, start to roll inwards. But feel like you're almost closing the body off in a circle here. So your sit bones are rolling underneath you, towards you, as it were, rather than pushing them away. One more round. Another in-breath, lifting up. And your out-breath, rolling forwards. Spinal wave here, energy through the spine. And we arrive back and into sitting again. We'll take the knees together here. We come up to standing and up to the top of the mat. And arriving up at the top of the mat, we're going to breathe the arms up above the head. And then we'll take the fingertips down to the shoulders. Your elbows will be pointing out to either sides of the body. So the in-breath, elbow points will come together. And we'll draw them up that center line. And we'll breathe them out down the back of the body. Go nice and slowly here. We'll do this a couple more breaths or so. Go slowly so you feel the sense of opening up into the shoulder girdle. One more. And we're all meet now. Elbow points out to the sides of the body again. And once we're there, we breathe the arms out, palms stretching up. We'll just make sure our shoulders are dropping here. Again, we may want to lift up a little bit. So we're stretching out into the fingertips, but the shoulders are low. Breathe in, take the fingertips back to the shoulder girdle. Breathe out, we're open. Another in-breath, coming back in. And the out-breath, back out. And we're pausing here with hands stretched out either sides of the body. Now feel like you're really stretching out into both sets of fingertips. And breathe up and down the trunk of the body as you do so. Let your left arm now drop down to the side of the body. And right arm is lifting up. And we'll step the feet a little further apart here. And you want to feel like you're being lifted up by your right wrist. And so this left side of the body is just dangling down. As if someone is lifting that wrist up off the floor. Circle that right arm down. And left arm will lift up now. And again, it's as if someone's lifting that left wrist up above you. And then your body can just fall over to the right hand side, but the wrist lift is still kind of carrying on, as it were. There's a real lot of softness and kind of dangling quality in the body below that arm. And then left hand will come down, lobe down, and both hands will meet on the hips. Feet, hips width apart, thumbs facing backwards, and we'll just circle now the pelvis. Big circle and circumference through the pelvis. We'll switch directions. Then our hands are going to slide down the knees. And hands just up on the top of the knees. We'll take the knees into the center and we'll open them out. It's a bit like you're doing kind of chicken dance here. If your shoulders soft though, make sure you're not pulling forwards through the shoulders. And root down into the feet. Remember the analogy of filling up the legs with sand that we were practicing last week. We'll keep that going as well. Take that circle the opposite way. We come back and to the center line. So we'll breathe the arms up now. And breathing out with the spine as straight as you can, start to fold forwards. Put a bit of bend into your knees if you need to support the spine. Now backs of the hands together as you stretch forward, a bit like you're diving into a swimming pool. Palms will be facing away from you. Breathe in there. Breathe out. Start to gather up and lift up. Backs of the hands now start to dive down the front of the body. Backs of palm and the hands are facing one another. Then they stretch out into the swimming pool. Bottom will be pointing out behind you. You want to keep your spine here as straight as you can rather than curving it. Breathe out. Start to lift up. Lift up again through the hands. Backs of the hands dive down past the shoulders and the front of the body. And then they come out. Roll them back in. And we'll do one more time here. Lifting up. With the out breath again, backs of the hands down the front of the body and out in front of you. Move down into your feet, so you now take the arms out behind you. And you may be able to draw forwards a little bit more. Use your core here as you now let the hands float down to arrive into a forward fold. Left hand can cover the left foot or be on the left leg, and right arm will lift up. Big stretch up into the right arm, anchor down both feet, so equal weight in both legs. Right hand will come down to cover the right foot or rest on the right leg. Left arm will lift up. Doing a side twist here, anchoring weight equally into both legs. Left arm comes down. We'll do the same again. You may want to now bring the left hand over to the right foot or leg, or keep it on the left side. Right arm will lift up. Again, anchor the weight down into both legs. Right hand over to the left side or remaining on the right foot. We're coming into the opposite side of the twist. Rolling back the left arm so you're back in your center line now. And we'll just bend the knees as low as you can here. You may come all the way into a squat. You may come up a little bit higher. We'll stretch forwards. And we'll start to lift up again. We'll take the arms up above the head. We'll breathe out. And we're going to bend forwards again. Hands are here as a support, so keep them wherever you want. Go as low as you want to go here. Reach forward with your arms. Start to lift up again. Your energy is rising and falling through the body. They're nice and slow, a steady pace here, so there's no rush in it. Nice, easy rhythm. As we lift and release the weight downwards through the body. Anchoring your feet down as you do this. So wherever your feet kind of are, or however far the body comes down, you're really rooting down into both legs, and they're strong. So in a way, you could say the legs are doing the lifting, rather than the trunk or the shoulders pulling you up. Last time. Lift up the arms, and we'll take them down into the heart, palms facing down. Now just shrug up your shoulders for a moment, so you lose your neck and shoulders come towards the ears. Draw into your belly and then breathe out. Keep the elbows lifted to either sides. Put a little bit of bend into the knees. And we're just going to rotate the elbows from side to side, squeezing into the chest, the heart. Just opening up the energy flow. I kind of recommend that you go quite vigorously here. Often see in the class people going very slowly like this from side to side. You want to shake the energy up in a way, a little bit. So just let the elbows swing from side to side. Breathe then and clean out that heart channel, letting the energy flow in there. Just a few more rounds. Breath can go freely, however it is, just breathing. we'll start to slow it down. Breathe out and let your energy center again down at the dantian. Let the eyes shut here. We rub the palms now with the eyes still shut, and we place the palms over the eyes. Then from over the eyes, we'll open the eyes and we bring the middle finger back to that welcome fragrance point, so the widest part of the nostrils, and we'll just tiny little circles there, either sides of that wide part of the nostrils. And just hold now that point for breath. Opening up the hand now, and you'll see the web between the thumb and the index finger. Your thumb is now coming in to just squeeze at the base of that web. It's a brilliant point for letting go. It's a kind of spring cleaning point, as it were, deep purge point. Squeezing quite hard there. It encourages change. So if there are kind of, well, energy that's a bit stuck, that's a bit stagnant, that still needs shifting after winter time, to become a bit passive, as it were. These are good points. We'll do the other side. Just to open up the flow of energy. So you'll see the web of the thumb, the index finger. Step forward a bit. And we're just squeezing into that web. It could be a nice hard squeeze there. Coming back to the center on the top of the mat, that would be the one. We'll lift the arms up to shoulder height. We'll keep the elbows relaxed, the shoulders relaxed. We're now going to do that purging breath through the mouth, where we bounce up and down on the heels. Get a little rebound through your heels. And one more. And now we're just going to shake. So we're going to shake all of that out. We're going to let the head shake, the arms shake, the shoulders shake, the body shake, pelvis shake, legs shake. Just feel your body mid still back as you shake. Notice where the shake doesn't really want to lie in one part of the body or another. And just note that. And then come back to a still point. And back to the top of the mat. One hand on the heart, the other on top of that. Connect that quality of self-love again as you root your feet. With feet rooted, the heart can expand. But open the eyes. And we breathe the arms up above the head to start to flow into a slow sun salutation. As you breathe out, you'll find your descent down and into forward fold. I'd like us to come into a twist now. So right hand can cross the left, and keep it on the right foot. And just your time, taking a twist from side to side. So we'll all arrive back to offer the spine forwards. And we'll just take a moment here to draw the shoulders back, to lift up into the belly. And to breathe in fully. And then hands can come down. And we're arriving into down dog. And we're bending the knees. Just note for a moment, if my legs are straight, it's really easy to curve the spine. My knees are bent. I can start to draw the spine back. So my belly's coming towards the thighs, but it straightens. Now from there, you can probably straighten the legs a little bit, but do keep that bend through the knees. Then your spine is really straightening and strengthening rather than curving, as it were. We breathe in, knees will come down to the mat. And with knees down, we take the pelvis back towards heels and we come up and onto the fingertips. Hands will come down now and like a snake low to the ground. The belly comes forward and we breathe our way into a baby cobra. Going to breathe our way down again now. Just do a little work to strengthen the spine. Arms will come behind us, legs will lift, and the chest will lift. So we're in locust here, strengthening the lower back. Your next round of breath, hands can come beneath the shoulders, the feet will drop. And we now breathe into our cobra here. From cobra, we draw up and into down dog. Bending your right knee, we'll now straighten the left leg, but as you straighten that leg, you're still squeezing belly to spine. Still drawing the front of the body towards the legs. Switch sides. You may need to adjust the feet a little bit. Both heels now lifting. Looking forwards, we'll step feet up to the top of the mat. And we're offer the spine forwards. And we fold. Start to come up to rise, lift up through your spine. And once you're here, hands above the head, let that left arm stretch down. Keep the body upright. Your feet are no wider than a hip width here. Keep lifting up through the right arm as the body sways to the left. Keep lifting up that right wrist like it is being drawn up above. Someone's lifting you up from it off the mat. And the body will just be dangling down. Left arm can float up. Right hand will draw down now. Now the key is to keep this vertical line up this left side of the body. So you keep the left wrist lifting up, and then the body will sway. Then it is literally just hanging off that left wrist. Right arm will draw up. Both arms are now lifted above the body. And taking the palms together, we come into another forward fold. So take your time as you fold down. Gain another side twist. Left arm lifting up. And then your right arm following. Both hands coming back to your center line. And we'll offer the spine forwards again. Do take the time just to take the shoulders back here. Hands coming down and back into down dog. Again, that bend through the knees as you take the belly towards the thighs. And we'll just take the knees together. She'll feel odd. Now open up your knees to either sides, a bit like those knee circles we're doing. You'll feel the difference in the lower spine as you do that. You do it one more time. The knees come together. It's kind of like a squashing in the lower spine there. But as the knees open out, there's like an expansion in the lower pelvis. Breathe in, take the knees down. We breathe out, we come to the heels, and we come back and onto the fingertips again. Again, keep the belly low to the mat as we roll forwards onto the belly. Now this time, arms will come out to the sides of the body, and the legs will lift again. The shoulders relax. One more time. Hands coming down, feet coming down. And we breathe our way now up and into space. Now you may want to actually thinking about it, come down first and then lift up onto the forearms. Keep the chest lifted, shoulders above the elbows. Long, soft breaths. Hands coming down to the mat. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders and in-breath into cobra. And breathing out, we lift up and back into our down dog again. So I feel like I'm eating my t-shirt a little bit here. Right leg will lift up, draw up and stretch up into the right toes. Little bend through the left knee again as you lift up even higher. Look between the hands and right foot will come through to step between the hands. You may want to stand up there to get there. Now coming into a high lunge twist here. Left hand remaining down, right arm lifting up. Right hand can come down to the mat now. Flip your back foot down. It will feel a long way away probably from your front leg, but we're going to give this a go. Pour the weight and the sand down into both legs. Keep that wide stance as you lift up, arms above the head. Let the sand pour down both feet. Whole of the back leg will be filled with sand. Out breath into warrior two. Gather your hands up to your center line and rotating your front foot so it's now parallel with the long edges of the mat, both feet are. We breathe out and we'll start to forward fold, keeping a little bend into the knees as you come down. Both hands will be underneath the head here. We put the left hand down and right arm will lift into a side twist. Keep your breath long and fluid. Right hand will come down, left arm will lift up. Left hand comes down. Now use your hands here as a prop. Right hand can come towards the right foot as you lunge over into the right leg. So your left leg will straighten here. And you'll feel the stretch on that inner seam of the left thigh and the left leg through the hamstring. You then take weight over to the left foot. Left hand will come towards the left foot as you straighten out into the right leg here. And arrive back to the center line. Now we'll walk the hands around to the right foot here and we'll rotate the back foot in so it's parallel. And with both feet parallel to the long edge of the mat, going to step and stretch up the right leg out behind us again. Bend into the left knee. We can open into the right hip if you want. And then right foot will come down to the floor. Adjust your feet in and either come down into child for a few resting breaths. So you may want to take a vinyasa. You could come down with the knees down or from plank, lower down into cobra and find your way back up again. So we all meet up in down dog, little bend through the knees, belly towards the thighs, and the left leg will lift up. Now we're stretching it up as high as we can. And the last breath or so, we'll bend the right knee to get even more of a stretch up into the foot. Look forwards. Left foot will swing through between the hands. Let's turn myself around. And then from there, we come into the high lunge twist. Right hand stays on the mat, left arm opens. Left hand will come down. So your feet are wide apart here, but we're anchoring that right foot. Remember, the sand is filling up that back leg. Lift up in that wide stance, anchoring the feet and the legs with sand. As you draw up into your warrior one. Long deep breaths. Hands open into warrior two. Both legs are now full with sand. So the weight of the body, it feels quite low here, as it were. Let your breath then keep the body buoyant. We'll take both feet towards our center line again, so they're now parallel with one another. And that little bend through the knees as you take your hands down and into forward fold. And we'll let the spine hang down here in the forward fold. And we'll turn the head from one side over to the other. And we'll anchor down into both feet. We're going to take the weight over to the right foot again. Right hand will come towards that foot, stretch into the left hamstring and up that inner seam of the left leg. Weight will come over to the other side, left side. And we arrive back, pardon me, to the center line. Take your hands forward a little bit as you maybe pigeon toe your feet in a little bit. Toes pointing out, heels in, hands on the legs to lift up. And your lone horse stance, almost like a goddess pose here. Shrug the shoulders back. Breathe in, arms out to the sides of the body. Now the sand is heavy here. The sand is almost wet, so the legs are really strong and anchored. Arms out to either sides. Feel the softness in the palms of the hands. As they turn up, keep sinking low as the hands slip. It's almost in direct opposite to the strength of the legs, the lightness of the hands, and the touch of the fingertips. And then breathe out and start to fold into forward fold. Be a light touch of fingertips on the mat as you arrive in that forward fold. Another in-breath. And with the sand anchoring your legs, lift back up again. Sands down into both legs as arms come out to either sides. So we're balancing two quite strong extremes here through the body. Sand taking the body lower as the palms turn up. Soft in-breath. Keep it so soft. Keep your focus on that softness of in-breath. Fingertips connecting. And then out-breath, folding. Well done. So we'll take the hands now around to the right leg and framing that right foot, both feet parallel with the long edge of the mat. We'll step back into down dog. And a big out breath through the mouth. In breath, both knees come down. Feet come together, one big toe on top of the other. We'll sit back on the heels, take the knees wide. And then we slide the hands forward into wide leg child. Another 3 rounds of breath in. You'll then walk your hands back up to find your way up and into sitting again. So if you remember those vagus nerve exercise, I think we did in class 1 or 2 of this after, just going to revisit those for another time. The head is now balanced, poised on the top of the neck. We'll just take the chin a little bit lower from that center point and a little bit higher. And then it will arrive back in a neutral position. Open your eyes here and just keeping that steadiness of the skull, take the gaze over to the right. Be aware the chin wants to move. Just keep your gaze there. Breath, just a normal relaxed breath. Yawn or sigh if you need to. And then we take the eyes back to the center line. This time the gaze comes to the left. The head remains still. We're just holding the gaze there to the left. Natural breath. And then back to the center. So this time the gaze comes to the right. And once it's on the right, now the head tips to the left. Looking out towards the right. This left ear drops towards left shoulder. Now hold your gaze to the right. Readjust back the head. You may have to do a little bit of just kind of thinking that through to see where the chin is. And then the gaze will come back to the center line. You're now looking to the right, the head is steady. And once you've got your gaze to the, sorry, you're looking to the left. I don't know if I said right there. The gaze is steady. And then once you're there, the head will drop towards the right shoulder. Keep looking to the left. It's the weight of the head drops to the right. Now hold that steady gaze to the left as you adjust the head back up. Just be careful where your chin is. Keep looking to the left, and then eyes will come back again. Well done. Bringing the hands down now, and right back on your mat if you're not there. And we're going to come onto the spine. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. Now press your left foot down to the mat, and hands can come around the back of the right thigh. So you stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling, flexing the right foot as if you're trying to push the ceiling up with the right foot. Bending the right knee again. Either catch hold of the outer edge of that right foot or the back of the right thigh. So your hand comes around the back of the leg. We'll take the right foot up again towards the ceiling, and then we'll let that right knee drop over to the right hand side. So you're in half happy baby here. Your left hand, I always find it's nice to put it on the left thigh, and the left knee can just fall out a bit to the left hand side here. Find your breath, bring that left knee in, and now cross right foot over the left leg. So that right knee will probably want to come in a little bit, and you're pushing the right thigh very gently to encourage this opening of the shape of the legs. Left foot is glued to that right thigh. Now threading the needle, hands come around the left leg. Right hand comes in a little space between the legs. Left hand around the outer edge. And you're lifting that left knee in towards the body. Just intensifies the stretch into the right hip. Holding the shape of the legs here. This right angle shape. To your next round of breath, place your left foot back on the floor, but keep this right foot glued to the left leg. You can even hold it there with the left hand.
I couldn't find back on the floor in your Apple Music library.
Oh,
You can
no.
ask me to play a radio station or ask for your music in a different app.
Did that happen? I never know these things. Siri, go away. Sorry about that. I had no idea. Siri's never done that before. Anyway, your left leg is down on the mat. Your right foot is connected there, and we're holding that left foot with the left hand. So then it's just going to drop over to the left-hand side of the body. It's like that, taking a step over to the left. You're going to feel it in that right IT band, the outer band of that right leg. Left hand can come somewhere in the body, and the right arm can stretch out, T-like shape. You can turn your gaze towards that right hand. The left hand on the belly, and kind of feel where your breath is. Just letting our breath flow through us. Not trying to push at any tight areas. Just feeling resistance, tension through the body. But softening our gaze to that tension, rather than hardening against it, and creating layers of tension on top of it. Come back to our center line now. So left foot still in contact with that right leg. And then we drop it down now to the mat. So we'll do the same on the other side now. We'll start by hugging left knee into the chest. And then hands will come around the back of the left thigh. And we'll stretch the left foot up towards the ceiling. There's a nice big hamstring stretch here, up the back of that left leg. Both shoulders relaxed on the floor. Then take your time to bend the left knee back in again. And then your left hand is around the back of the left thigh to come into half happy baby. Else you're catching the outer edge of the left foot. Foot lifts up towards the ceiling again. The knee comes out to the left hand side. And right hand just lightly placed on that inner right thigh. only to anchor it, just to encourage it to drop a bit to the right hand side. It's great to open them through the groin, the inner groin. And feel any tightness that you may be feeling through the body, but don't try to adjust that or do anything with it. Want to just let the tension kind of find its own way out of the body rather than adding more layers upon it. So we kind of resist it, trying to argue with it, as it were. Another breath. And then we're coming to threading the needle here. So the right foot now crosses the left thigh. And you're just opening up the right angle, using that left hand maybe. Just pushing lightly on the left thigh. So you feel a little bit more sensation down that outer edge of the left thigh, into the hip. Threading the needle, hands come either sides of your right leg. So you're clasping the back of the right leg. So you lift that right knee up and in towards the body. Make sure you're not holding your breath at all. Let your breath flow. And keep the gaze soft here. The gaze is soft, it's light, it kind of stops our attention from being pulled into the sensation. It stops us from arguing in a way with ourselves. It's more easy for us to release them. We can release. Also just to feel ourselves, know ourselves more clearly. But plant the right foot back down to the floor now. Remember this left foot is glued to the right thigh. You can even put the hand on that left foot to hold it there. With them, so your right hand on the left foot to hold it there. And then that left foot drops over to the right hand side, like it's taking a step. And once it's there, the left arm can stretch out. And your gaze will come towards that left hand. Right hand can then come onto the belly. The weight of the body relax earthwards. And arrive back to your center line. We drop the left foot down now, so both feet are now planted on the mat. And adjust them so their hips width apart here. From here, going to come into a bridge. Your hands will come either sides of the body. And make sure you're not pressing down into the mat with the hands here. You want to pull sands down through both legs. From the knees down to the feet, to find a lift up through the body and into our bridge. Chin will rest, lift up away from the chest, pouring sand into the legs. You may find that enables you to lift a little bit higher, maybe even to shuffle onto the shoulders a bit more, hands underneath the body. And we'll round a breath in. Arms will open out. And we'll drop the legs down to the mat. Stretch out the legs now. along the length of the mat, hands by the sides of the body. And as if the eyes were resting in their sockets, behind the closed lids. We're now coming into the stillness of Shavasana. And a few moments to rest in the stillness. Come into the final 3 breaths here in your Shavasana. And then give yourself a few moments to bring movement into the body. And then bend knees. Find your way to the side of the body and do give yourself a couple of full breaths here before you come up again. And we'll find our way up and into sitting. So we'll shut the eyes here and we'll take the palms in front of the chest and we'll rub the hands together very vigorously so we get some warmth. Then place the palms over the eyes. Let the weight of the head drop forward. Bring the hands over the ears. And then hands on the throat, very light touch. Top hand will come down to the heart. And then the hand on the throat will come down onto the solar plexus. Keep one hand on the heart, as the lower hand comes onto the sacral area. And then down to the dantian. And then from our roots to earth, follow the flow of our energy up to the heart, feeding love with strength, softening strength with love. Take both hands into prayer in front of the heart. And here we breathe in, offering ourselves blessings. And then breathing out, sending those blessings out into the world. And closing our practice. Namaste.